Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the lunch counter. It's time to go out to lunch again today. So come on and head out to lunch with me today. Is anybody going to lunch with me today? We're taking a lunch today. It is lunchtime. Get away from what you're doing. Take a little break. Take a little break, and we're going to feast on the Word of God. That's what we eat for lunch. We eat the Word of God. We feast on the Word of God for lunch. And for lunch today, we're going to go over there to Deuteronomy chapter 34 in that first verse. And we're going to be talking about the promised land. So we're going to go to lunch and we're going to feast on Deuteronomy 34 and 1, and where he talks about the promised land. God took Moses to the mountain of Nebo, to the top of it. And at the top, he showed Moses the whole promised land. God, hello, Kenny. Thank you for coming out to lunch with me, my brother. And so he took him to the top of that mountain, Mountain Nebo, and showed him all of the promised land. Showed him all the promises that God had for his people. And then he told the people, he said, that you must obey God in that land to eat the good of that land. Told them that if you disobey God, then God would destroy you in that land. And so we see years later, Dr. King came along and he was taken to the mountaintop, and he was able to look over and see the promised land. And he said, we as a people shall get to the promised land. So again, that calls for us coming together. That calls for us obeying God. We can't get to the promised land with all this racism. We can't get to the promised land with all of this hate, black on black crime. We can't get to the promised land like that. Hello, Sister Deborah Hutchinson. God bless you. And so if we want to get to the promised land, we got to come together as a people. People work together. People that understand one another. Even though your skin may not be the same color as my skin, but I accept you because God made us all, and we are all unique, yet we all are one, because it ain't only one spirit, it's only one blood, which God made the whole nation, the whole world with one blood. So we need to learn to get along. We need to learn to obey God as Moses said. And we need to learn to do as Martin Luther King said. He said, if we don't learn to get along as brothers, as sisters, then we're going to die together as fools. So we got to get along if we're going to enjoy the promised land. The promised land is here for us, but it comes with some restrictions. It comes with some things that we must do in order to enjoy the promises of the land. And that's putting God first. This nation says we are one nation under God, but you don't act like we one nation under God with all the things that's going on in this nation. So we got to get our act together and get back to God and listen to what Moses said when God took him to the mountaintop. Listen to what Dr. King said when God took him to the mountaintop, that we may be able to enjoy this promised land. We ain't got there yet. We're still fighting. We're still struggling. And the struggle is we fighting against each other. We got to come together as a people, not as a black people, not as a white people, but as a people, one nation under God. All right, have a blessed day. Thank y'all for coming out to lunch with me. Y'all take that and chew on that a while, and y'all have a good day. And keep God